Hey guys, thank you for stopping by. I'll be giving you my short review of God of War 2018 and God of War Ragnarok. I'd appreciate it if you guys drop a like or a comment or both. It really helps out. Now on to the reviews. God of War by Sony Santa Monica Studios tells the story of Kratos and Atreus after the death of Faye, the wife and mother, where you both take off on a journey to fulfill Faye's last wish, which is to take her ashes up to the tallest mountain in all the realm. The game shows us the relationship between Kratos and Atreus, who grieve the loss of their loved one. I saw both characters grow and build a better relationship throughout the game, and I'll be honest, it can be an emotional game. There are also other characters in the game, including two Dwarven blacksmith brothers and Mimir, who add a comic relief and assist the player in their progress. The brothers can upgrade weapons, clothing, power-ups, etc., while Mimir, similarly to Atreus, points out things you may have otherwise ignored, or gives you hints of upcoming enemy attacks. And apart from this, he also shares a lot of knowledge, helping you understand the story. There's also Freya, who was a great ally to have for the majority of the game. God of War looks spectacular even though it's a game that was released over 4 years ago, and at times I just stop to observe the landscape or check out the little details. It also has a one-shot camera view the whole game, and never cuts to any cutscenes. This really helps you stay immersed in the action. I had played Assassin's Creed Valhalla before God of War, and I honestly thought it would hurt my enjoyment of this game, but it had little impact, as the games are not that similar, and I enjoyed this game much more. I had several missions to complete and a multitude of items to find, and at no point was I bored of exploring. And with the addition of the Blades of Chaos, tight controls, and a fantastic soundtrack, I can honestly say I love this game. I personally don't believe there's a perfect game, but this game is far from a 9, which is the reason I give it a 10 out of 10, and I absolutely recommend it to all of you. And now before I begin, and before I start Ragnarok's review, I'd just like to share something with you guys. So I started Ragnarok about 2 days after finishing the first game, and during my last hours of Ragnarok, my PS5 bricked on me. During the game, I had to wait maybe like 2 weeks or 2.5 weeks to get another PS5, and I can honestly say, even though I had that break in between, I can honestly say that didn't affect this review. So let's hop. God of War Ragnarok is a perfect continuation of its prior game. The developers at Santa Monica Studio, the developers place us in the aftermath, and we continue the story of Kratos and his son Atreus. And although we're in the same map, it looks a little different as we are in a winter climate. However, a little different from the last game, this time it looks like both Kratos and Atreus are falling apart a bit and are no longer bonding with each other. But the further you get into the story, the more you understand each character's actions. And with the addition of characters such as Thor, Odin, and Angrboda, the story kept pushing and we learned of new allies and new enemies. The game kept the same combat as its prior title, with a few small changes. The same thing can be said about the puzzles. They were all the same, with a bit of a twist. And just like the prior game, we have a lot of environments to explore and many side missions to take on. You are able to play as Kratos or Atreus in the game, and I gotta be honest, I did not enjoy playing as Atreus for a good amount of time. It was only at those times that I did not feel like playing the game anymore, as Atreus is not enjoyable, but as we progressed through the story, Atreus actually became more enjoyable. It was only at this moment that I realized Kratos was so much enjoyable without the bow, because if we had to switch between the axe and the bow, then maybe Kratos wouldn't have been such an enjoyable character to play as. And something I like to add, Atreus climbs on his own, and no longer on the back of Kratos, which to me showed that he is no longer 100% Kratos' responsibility, as he is now more independent and has grown since the first game. And the same can be said about Kratos, now being able to read all the writings throughout the world, and not relying on his son to help him out. Also, at the beginning of the game, in the opening of the game, we had to learn how to control the wolves on the sled, and although we didn't use it for a while, it prepared us for the future where we control the Gulons tied to the sled. I'm sure there were other moments like this in the game that likely went over my head, but it was amazing noticing these things that the devs did. So I gotta be honest, this might be my favorite story in a game, and once again the music was fantastic. And although I liked the plot twist in the game, and I enjoyed the game very much, I gotta be honest, I gotta rate it under the last one. I give this game a 9 out of 10, but still recommend it because these were some of the best games I had played in a while.